Welcome everyone to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Hello.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
Well, the best thing about Spider-Man Homecoming, besides the trailer, is the hat. But besides that, in my opinion, we're going to get Scott's opinion on the movie because I know he loved it, right?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I honestly say we finally got a good Spider-Man movie. And yes, it really did help by not having the origin story. That's what I thought. At first I thought, why not do an origin story? And then when you actually see the movie, it makes it – they do touch on it.
Well, I'm a little worried about that, though. You know that.
About being bit and all. But they don't stress – they don't do the whole overblown, here's his bitten story, here's Uncle Ben being killed, which I'm going to say – actually works for the movie.
Well, I'm kind of worried that this is a different universe, so anything goes, I guess. Like I was having this conversation. I mean, we got a lot of heat for our cast about Spider-Man Homecoming, and what I'm trying to say to people is that, look, if you like it, fantastic.
You like it.
That's fine. I'm not mad that you like it.
Yeah.
If we don't like it, which we don't, like Chris don't like it and I hate it, and that's the way it is. But my opinion's not going to change. Like,
no.
What I'm finding is that every single thing I say, they use my words and then they respond why I'm wrong. And I'm like, no, it's my opinion. So it's like there was so much crap on Facebook, so much crap on the YouTube channel. And I know, Chris, you responded to some stuff. And it was like, I don't think they understand. Like, I'm not going to change my opinion. You could
and you
comment. Right. But you could, and my opinion isn't wrong. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm saying it's my opinion. So when people like saying how I'm wrong because of this and that, that's impossible. Because I'm not saying I'm right to everybody else. I'm saying my opinion is my opinion. So I just don't like it how it got really crazy on Facebook out of nowhere and YouTube. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to change myself for anybody. So, you know, like if you don't like it and if you're going to come on my channel and you're going to start like bashing me or bashing my members, then get out.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And take your subscribe thing with you because I'm not going to have any of my members get disrespected here, nor am I. And I'm not going to lose my channel because I have somebody or a few people that are just being a bunch of like that bothers me. Like, I mean, I can't call them trolls, but when people come on and they try to make them like they know who Matrix Lord is,
there are some trolls that comment,
right.
and we know that there are several of them, and you know, if they really like this movie so much, that's fine. But you know, I mean. It's not going to change my opinion about it.
I apologize. I know people don't like me to curse, but sometimes it's warranted. Like, I've liked every movie there was of Spider-Man, okay? There's some things I don't like in the comics, okay.
Yeah.
The one movie that I don't like, and people have the fucking nerve, and I'm going to say certain people, they're like, well, this is the way Matrix Lord is. He's criticizing. No, asshole. I never fucking said a bad thing. I never said I hated all the other Spider movies. You're a fucking a-hole. I get mad with that shit because it's like you're allowed to not like one fucking movie. I mean, I'm entitled. I got thousands of Spider-Man comics. I'm fucking entitled to not like one. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I didn't want to not like it, but it fucking sucked. I thought so. Because, and I have read how many universes that I have. I don't just click Spider-Man. I've seen all these universes of Spider-Man. My whole fucking point is, you don't have a fucking spider sense.
Yeah,
you're gonna get
stupid.
You're gonna get shot in the back. You're gonna get shot in the back of the fucking head. People are gonna know you're Spider-Man like your fucking friend Ned and Aunt May, and it's never gonna fucking work ever. So you're gonna get fucked. That's the whole point. You're fucking afraid of heights. You're getting your fucking ass kicked, and then this is what gets me. I'm seeing shit in this movie even more now. Before. There's Tom Holland made a comment, I'm never going to punch anybody in the face. What the fuck are you talking about? You're a fucking superhero, and you're fucking fighting, right? You're fighting. You're punching this What do you mean it's politically incorrect to punch somebody in the face? These people are trying to blow up shit.
We need to talk about what you just said too, because I didn't think about this. I saw this on another forum today with somebody who else didn't like the movie. Yes, people, there are other people out there other than the two of us that didn't like the movie. I know, big shock, but someone brought up today the political correctness thing, and I think we need to talk about that later on. But go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, so don't tell me. Listen, there was the one bullshit scene where the lady didn't want to take a picture in front of this monument because slaves built it. And I'm like, oh, really? What the fuck is that?
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
What the fuck is that in the movie?
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Fuck off. All right? Give me a fucking break. You know what? You don't complain. Like, say somebody built something and they were drunken alcoholic, right? You're fucking hired to build something, right? Like, say a drunken alcoholic built a fucking building, or a mobster built a fucking building, or a fucking whatever. So fucking what? You know, like they're saying slaves built the building. Come the fuck on. Really? You know, give me a fucking break with this bullshit. Like, enough. So, first of all, you cannot fucking give a correct interpretation on how a bully should fucking be. A bully's a fucking bully that people want to commit suicide because people are so fucking bullying. So you can't make a likable character as a bully. I'm so fucking sick. I want to throw up right now. Okay? Flash Thompson should not be likable. He's a fucking bully. Fuck him. Okay? You're a bully. You're a fucking bully. Stop being a bunch of fucking pansy, movie-going, creating movie company bullshit agenda. Okay? Stop being an... Did we really need to have that scene where, I don't take pictures in front of this monument because they're slaves? That means these are the people that piss on the American flag. Okay? Fuck off. All right? Fuck you. Seriously. Who said that? Zendaya in the movie?
Yeah, she did.
Fuck you, okay? Fuck you, please. I don't want that person as a character love interest. Get the fuck out of here. He's going to be in love with her? Fuck off. Honestly. Don't put that in my fucking Spider-Man movie. Don't put that shit in there. Don't fucking tell me when you're... the fucking writer's response is, he's higher than he's ever been. How many fucking feet high is he when he's swinging from the Empire State Building? Or the fucking Chrysler Building, or whatever fucking building is there? You're going to tell me that that fucking monument is higher and he's going to only have fucking... Get the fuck out of here, okay? This is a fucking mockery, this movie. This is a fucking embarrassment. I would love to take a poll from all the Spider-Man writers that are not with Marvel Comics right now and see what the fuck they say. Because let me tell you something. If you're contractually obligated to fucking Marvel Comics and you're a fucking Spider-Man writer, there's no way you're going to say this movie sucked. Because you can be fired in 5 fucking minutes. All right? But I want to hear the true opinion of people who are not working for Marvel. They have free reign to say what they're fucking going to say. They have no intentions of working for Marvel. That's the true opinion that you're going to get. Okay? Everybody would see he's fucking Spider-Man. The villain is like embarrassed that he's looking at him from the ferry. You're going to blow up the ferry. You know that, right? And he's like, let me shoot. And he fucking blew up the ferry just about. He broke it in half because he's stupid. Okay? Are you fucking kidding me? And then the whole movie's like, it's dark. I was like, Jesus Christ, my ears are bleeding. I can't take it. He's screaming like a bitch with the thing on. I'm like, fucking
And the
stop.
guy and the one dude made fun of him, saying,
shut the fuck up. I'm like, this has never happened in the comics. They don't even do this with their 15-year-old Ree Williams that's Ironheart. They don't do any of this shit with their characters in the comics.
That's a girl, and they don't want to sound like they're picking.
But they don't do any of that in the comics.
By the way, Billy brought up a good point that we made yesterday. I'm not really a big fan of the Ultimate Universe. I haven't read those comics.
I have.
Apparently, that character that Donald Glover was playing, apparently his nephew is Miles Morales.
Yep. Right, and he's a Prowler. That's what I figured they were going to do. But again, I understand people are open to have their own interpretation, but this fucking guy that wrote the movie is not a fucking Spider-Man fan like we are. He's not a fucking comic reader. What do you read, one comic and think you know, or an animated series? Yeah, I really don't want to do the Spider-Sense because artistically, fuck off, okay? That's his fucking powers. Are you going to make him have the Phoenix Force? Are you going to make him use fucking telepathy? Are you going to make him turn into the Hulk? Shut the fuck up, okay? That's his fucking powers, the Spider-Sense. He got bit by a spider. He don't just get super fucking strong. He has a Spider-Sense like Spider-Sense, how to shoot a web, how to fucking swing. Fuck off, okay? Then you're writing for a genius and you're a stupid ass. So you don't want to fucking write that he's a genius, that he can figure out that. You're talking in chemistry class about fucking compositions and atoms and shit like that. And he don't know that if he fucking does this, the fucking ship's going to blow up or break in half, or you don't know how to break through a fucking window on a monument, and you're a fucking scientist? Get the fuck out.
Tell us how you really feel there, Joe.
Sorry.
Scott, what else did you like about him? Because you liked it, so don't let our opinions.
I did like the thing with the Vulture. I did like the thing that he was.
Yeah,
he was a father.
I thought Keaton did a good job as the Vulture, and just the whole. I guess. I'm trying to think. The fact that another thing I liked is the fact that they didn't have Iron Man in as much of it as they claimed they were going to be.
Oh, he still was.
He was in it, but not as much as the trailer made it seem as to be. The end I like, where he had the chat with the soon-to-be Scorpion, and
that was
the whole thing about his Aunt May coming in, they breaking it off where he sees the whole outfit. That was in the listen to me. There was the Spider-Man comic, all right. He got his fucking ass kicked by Morlun. He's full of blood. He's all bandaged up on the bed like this. And she walks in and his fucking suit's hanging on the fucking bed and he's fucked up. I gotta tell you, there was the one cool thing in the comic that when she found out he was Spider-Man, it was like, that's cool. Even though she already found out he was Spider-Man before she died, and they did a whole weird shit that was like crazy. But anyway, not getting into that clone thing. But that was a cool thing in the comics that they took it from, but now she's like 40 years old. So okay. But then again, it causes so many issues because the other thing I loved is when that one building fell on him. I'm starting to think, I can't remember the issue, but there's an issue where he's like pushing the rubble up and all the water's dropping down. I'm going, they're going to do the lifting. They're going to do the lifting. And just at one moment, there it goes. There's that famous
cover.
Don't
cry like a
that's
bitch.
One thing I also love is the fact if you looked at it, it's like they took certain covers or certain. I
know it's all from classic comics, all right. I know.
And they try to imply it like they did with Captain America.
But in the comic, he never cried like a bitch like that, even when he was 15.
But
he's supposed to be a hero saving people. He don't have time to be a bitch, even at 15 years of age. They never did that in the comics.
But like
he's the fucking hero. Who the fuck's going to save him? That's like a ton on. Wait, Scott. There's a ton on him. There's a ton of weight on him that only he can lift a ton. Nobody else. So who the fuck is going to help him? Then he's crying. Please, help. Like they can't lift a rubble. Like only he could get out of it. Oh. And she's not Mary Jane. They're going to use the name MJ because it's he always says MJ, but she has nothing to do with Mary Jane. She's going to be Michelle, and they ruined that too. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm talking too much.
No, Scott, finish what you were saying.
But no, that's all I had to say was the fact they were taking classic. If you look close enough, they were taking classic scenes from covers or within comic books, and they were trying to plant them in the episode in the movie itself. I thought that was what was so great.
Give him the fucking Phoenix Force next, because this is totally not Spider-Man. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. Why don't you give him laser beams out of his eyes? Or some shit. Why not? Who the fuck? Why not?
That's the third movie, Joe.
Get the fucking cosmic powers right away, and then it'll be in Guardians of the Galaxy fucking 10. Fucked up the whole Marvel timeline too. Trying to fix it, trying to weave your shit into it. Makes no fucking sense. I don't know about you, Chris. The timeline, how everything fucking maps out, that's fucking weirder than fuck now.
What do you mean?
It's like the whole way everything, they're trying to fit it, how this is all in this order, like the whole, and they were in Avengers for like 10 years and all kinds of shit like that and whatever. It's just weird.
I mean,
they're not. Here's the thing: when the movies came out, but you're not
Yeah.
really supposed to go like, all right, this movie's been out for 2 years, 4 years, 8 years. They've been Avengers for 8 years. No, it should be like they're Avengers for like a year or two, not like fucking 8 years later, boom. That's happened.
I don't mind that. I mean, I
Yeah.
prefer. I actually prefer that because it, for me, seeing something as simple as that, it makes me think, oh, okay, so they're a closer knit team than what we're just seeing. Because in my opinion, if we saw everything that they did on the big screen, it would be like,
So how you can explain what Captain America's doing for 3 years?
A week later,
he's not doing anything really.
For 2-3 years, he's just chilling.
If they're in Wakanda, yeah, I mean, I don't mind that at all. However, this is my thing with this movie. I think that there are problems within the movie itself, rather than the stuff surrounding the movie. I think we should focus on that, because if we start like saying, oh, look outside the spectrum of the movie, all this stuff is bad, we're just going to start nitpicking the whole MCU, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm just going to say one thing before you continue, Chris.
Yeah.
Before I forget, sometimes I forget. Stark Tower is going to be Baxter Building or Fantastic Four Building. I'm pretty sure, but that's my guess. But don't, because in case they get the characters, I'm just putting it out there. But that's it. Take it out of your mind. Continue, Chris.
No, I mean, I kept thinking about the movie, after we did casts and stuff, and I'm sorry, I don't like it. I just think that it's not one of Marvel's best. I'm not gonna say it was a terrible movie, because I think as a movie, like just as a movie itself, it's fine. But as a Spider-Man movie, it's terrible. I don't like it.
This movie sucks. I'm sorry. And
I disagree. I think that on a technical level, it's an okay movie, but as a Spider-Man movie, I don't like it. I don't think it's that good. I watched Amazing Spider-Man again today, not the whole thing, but most of it, and I got to say, I found myself enjoying that a lot more.
I will say that one is better than this one.
Yeah,
but as far as a start-off reboot, it's good.
I gotta say too. I mean, even though I wasn't really a big fan of Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, but I think he does a better job as Spider-Man, because personally, I don't think there has been a good on-screen Peter Parker yet. I was not a fan of Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker.
I fucking loved him as Peter
I was not a fan of Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, and I'm certainly not a fan of Tom Holland as Peter Parker or Spider-Man. I'll say this, though. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield do a great job as Spider-Man.
This is the problem with Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. It's the fact that the science that goes into it, I know I'm going to sound technical and all this, the science that goes into two of them, a lot of times in today, they can't actually work it out perfectly because of people's knowledge of today. Because they have to jury rig this and jury rig that, so people will buy the fact that cosmic rays of some sort affected the Fantastic Four to give them those powers. We have to jury rig a radioactive spider this way or that way to have him pretty much have the DNA merge with Peter Parker. And since that is one of the reasons why it's so hard.
You want to know why that makes no sense, Scott?
That's why the live-action version does not work like the cartoon versions do.
You want to know why that makes no sense when you're saying that they got to make the DNA of a spider go into him and give him powers, and it doesn't make sense? It makes perfect sense. Just like a mosquito could kill you from the West Nile's virus, from a little bite, can fucking kill you. Like, it makes perfect sense that a spider could bite you and you become fucking Spider.
But I'm just saying, in a live action version, that's where they're tripping up. Now, in a cartoon, it works because people can pretty much suspend their belief for 30 minutes, half hour.
I think if Fantastic Four was with Marvel, it would be fine.
But
I don't think it would be an issue at all, and I think it would work out perfectly. And they would have to, if they could do fucking Doctor Strange and they could do Ant-Man and all these other fucking crazy things, they could do Fantastic Four easily.
He's based somewhat in magic, and people will buy magic more than they will the splice. Now, if they came out and said, well, they did this, they did like DNA splicing and actually included it into Parker, then they would buy that. But because he got it through
I don't think that matters if you got bit by a spider. I don't think they care.
I agree with what Scott's saying.
Yeah.
And you can see not only in the MCU, but you can see traces of what he's talking about in almost every science fiction or comic book based movie that gets made. For example, I'll use one in the MCU. Look at Doctor Strange, right? In the comics, as far as I know, they're full on. It's magic. Mm-hmm. That's the idea, right? But if you watch the Doctor Strange movie, there's an explanation for the things that they do. We draw energy from different dimensions to create. The reason that they do that, and this is a thing that I think most producers and production companies, they think this way. We have to remember that they're not making these movies for fans like us.
No, they're not.
They know that fans like us are willing to accept. He got bit by a spider. They got hit by cosmic rays. He uses magic. But when it comes to the casual audience, at times, they're going to go, magic? That's dumb. That's dumb. So what they do is they try to make these things grounded and realistic. How many times have we heard that? Grounded and realistic. So
now they know that the fans are going to be that base level. They're going to go see the Fantastic Fours. They're going to go see Spider-Mans, the Hulks, Doctor Stranges, etc. No matter what. But in the long run, their money is not based on the fans. It's based on the person who's probably either heard of these characters either by word of mouth or not at all.
Well, look at Ant-Man. Look at Ant-Man, right? Mm-hmm. Ant-Man itself is more of a comic book. It works in the comics, but translating that onto the big screen, now they're reaching the levels of ridiculous that, again, we accept that. When I watch Ant-Man, I don't go, guy turns into a microscopic being. That's stupid. I don't think that. I go, okay, that's Ant-Man's thing. But a casual fan might go in there and be like, what? He turns small? That's dumb. And so they made it as a comedy, which was the right move because it's a comedic idea. You know, he shrinks down. You got to remember that's who they're trying to reach. And the reason
the difference between him and the Atom is sort of maybe on the same wavelength, but they'll buy the Atom being able to do that without it being a comedy, but not Marvel, because the way Marvel has set up their movie franchise right now.
Well, yeah, but what I was saying was the reason that we see so many changes in this Spider-Man movie is because they're trying to reach that casual audience. Mm-hmm. And as of right now, they know their market. No one can say that Disney doesn't know who they're selling to. They look at this casual audience and they say, what are they going to like that is going to sell this movie to them? So they make all the changes to Spider-Man. And it's something that we as the fans who originally liked it say, wait, that doesn't make sense because of this. But the casual fans are going, yeah, this is great. Look at it. This is a cool Spider-Man. This is a really cool version of Spider-Man. And that's who's making this movie successful.
Right.
That's who's driving this movie to be as big as it's going to be, because the fans like us are the old crowd. They want the new crowd.
Yeah, because in the end, either way, Sony and Marvel gets their money. So whether we like it or not.
Well, here's the thing. We've talked about this. Doesn't matter that they get their money or not. If this movie does $500 million and no more, there's going to be people going to go crazy. Because again, you always want to make better than what you did before. And every Spider-Man movie since has done less and less and less. So,
do I like the fact he didn't have spider sense and they had Jennifer Connelly be the voice of the suit? No, I don't like that. Yes, I don't like that. Did I like the fact that he seemed like a whiny kid at times? No, but he's 15 and he's still growing into himself. Fine. But
he's 15, that he's super intelligent and more mature to not do those stupid things.
Yeah, but you know that. Well, I agree with you 100%. You know what they're doing.
It's like that Sheldon TV show from Big Bang Theory. You see how he acts like that? He's super intelligent, or whatever. He's not going to be like I don't know.
And this is what I was going to say. I mean, again, I think you're absolutely right. However, the reason that they're not doing that is because this is the quote-unquote new version of Spider-Man that they're pushing.
I mean, if he got beat up by Flash, who was like a jock of football, he would cry or whatever. But then when he got his powers, he wasn't doing any of that crap.
Yeah.
Even in the comics, I mean, it's like established. All right, he's 15, but he's not getting his ass kicked anymore because he has Spider-Man powers. You know, all right, he's fighting a supervillain, but he's not. He's more responsible now because he is a reason why Uncle Ben died. So he's mans up, even though he's 15. He doesn't like complain about that.
I mean, I don't buy this thing that he's 15 because
that's bullshit.
Andrew Garfield was in high school too. So what is he? A year or two older than him?
That's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Tobey Maguire started out in his senior year of high school. What? He's 3 years older. So
what? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And there was no need to have a love interest or a whatever that was, and it was just waste of time. He didn't go to the dance with her. He didn't it was just dumb. And even her reaction.
They wanted to have a connection.
But wait a minute.
Have a connection between him and the Vulture in such a way that when the Vulture found out his identity, it would make sense.
But the thing is that her reaction to him stiffing her is a politically correct fake reaction. Because if you stood up a woman on her dance in school, she'd be like, F you. That's not realistic. There's no way she's like, oh, it's not about me, it's about you, but hopefully you get your life together. Bye. No. Your dad is in prison. Your life is fucked. And the guy stood you up at the dance. How about go F yourself? It's like, seriously, that's not realistic. That's not reality. That would never happen like that. People are not like intellectual like that, where they're like, you know, it's okay. You got to get through your stuff. Be good. Take care. No. And he's going to be a responsible supervillain that just said, I'm going to murder you and your family and everybody you love.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fucking keep your secret. Or I feel bad about killing you, but yet I'll drop a fucking whole building on your head. And now all of a sudden I've seen the light. No, he never saw the light. Just like when he got fired from the job that he had for how many fucking years that he had responsible for his people, he fucking became a criminal.
That's a great point, too, because Liz, because I know that the idea is people saying, oh, well, he's not telling anybody because he doesn't want Liz to get hurt. She moved to Oregon. She's not dating him.
Right.
He should be out there going, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Right, because fuck.
Because
he doesn't have to worry about his daughter dating him, right.
If he's in prison, he knows that there's 100,000 other people out there that are probably going to try to kill him. And guess what? He doesn't have his spider sense. So, I mean...
They could get him while he's on the toilet. Or he could be sleeping.
Dude,
his spider sense is supposed to wake him up if there's danger. There's no spider sense.
They shoot a friggin' RPG into his house, into his building. Just blow him up. He's dead. He doesn't know.
Dude, you lock him in one of those vans, he'll cry like a bitch, and you throw like a fucking gas grenade in there to take the oxygen away, he's dead. We put him in that warehouse again, it's like over.
They carry him up to a high altitude, and then when the parachute deploys, he'll drown.
I'm scared, but then I'll jump over a fucking helicopter. Right. Wow. How about the guys that with the fucking helicopter and the machine guns don't know that the fucking explosion just happened in the fucking monument? Really? How the fuck does that work? They're saying that they're that stupid, the military or whatever, that they're really dumb. That's an insult to fucking their whole agenda, like they're saying about slavery built the buildings. See what I'm saying? They're mocking everything in the movie.
Let's climb up high. Spider-Man won't follow us because he's afraid of heights.
Spider-Man swings 200 feet. He swings 200, 400 feet above the air, but then, that thing's about 5 feet higher, so it's higher than he's ever been. That's why he's scared.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man opens up in Amazing Spider-Man 2 falling from the sky. Now, no, that wasn't a good movie, but he wasn't afraid of heights. I mean...
I just would love to see reactions from Spider-Man writers that don't work for Marvel anymore. Like just somebody find them on the street. I'm sure somebody's going to do it. Ask them all at once. See what they say. Watch.
Well, I mean,
somebody said, you know what bothers me too? somebody said something about Kevin Smith, right? Now, again, I'm not going to say anything bad about Kevin Smith. I don't want to be misconstrued here, right? So here's the thing. I'm not going to – I like Kevin Smith, okay? But they're like, well, Kevin Smith's video, whatever, and he liked it or what. First of all, Kevin Smith ripped to shreds Batman vs. Superman, right? And then when he got a job as director for DC stuff, like Supergirl and whatever, they said, listen, as an employee of DC, you gotta like this movie. We're gonna take you again. And they took him to the movies purposely, and he comes out, this is the greatest thing ever. What was I saying? Come on, man.
I think he also flipped his opinion on the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, so
I
come on.
watching a video where they said that he flipped his opinion.
Yeah,
on
because maybe you'll direct friggin', episode 9 and stuff. So I mean, like, really,
no. This was years ago, like before Disney had it. I'm pretty sure that I remember seeing a video that was like, oh, he flipped his opinion on the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I just, you know what? All due respect, I don't really. I mean, I'll watch him, but I'm not gonna really. My opinion's not gonna change on somebody else's opinion. Sorry. I don't like one movie. You fucking hang me out to dry. You're like, fuck Matrix Lord. He's a fucking dick. He's a fucking criticizing prick. And, shut the fuck up. I was right about Doctor Who season. Most of it sucked until the finale. I liked half the episodes, which is half the season, and I was correct anyway. And the finale was fantastic. So, you know what? I was right in my opinions. And then, in fact, in general, you look at the ratings. There you go.
I will say this much. Okay, I will say this much. When they make a second Spider-Man based on this, hang on. If they make a second one out of this, and if they finally get around doing that, whatever you want to call that stupid Fantastic Four movie that they've got planned.
Oh, God, stop that shit.
Yeah, that kiddie version. If these two movies bomb, I'm sorry, Marvel should be allowed to come in and say, okay, you guys had your chance. You guys had your chance. You screwed up. You screwed the pooch twice. We get both these franchises back. And you don't get
Marvel's never getting Spider-Man back.
But
listen.
When they make a second Spider-Man, it doesn't do as good. And this stupid dumbass Fantastic.
But it's Marvel that did the fucking Homecoming movie.
I know.
Marvel's doing the second Homecoming and the third. It's not even Sony. So they can't lose it to Sony because they fucking caused this mess in the first place.
Let me say this too. I mean, even if this makes less than what's the Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man did, there's one big difference with all of this.
Sony makes money, Marvel doesn't, but they pay for it.
No. It's connected to the MCU, which is already a proven successful story. They're not going to reboot it again because it's connected to that.
They can't reboot it. It's impossible.
And they have him in Infinity War, and they have Homecoming 2 and 3 apparently. And they have plans to use him in Phase 4. This is much different than Sony saying, oh, we're going to do the Sinister Six, because they're not proven like the MCU is. This is going to just be the Spider-Man that we get for the next, I think, decade. Honestly, I don't
think it's decade. I think maybe 6 years or less.
No, because if they have plans for him to go into Phase 4 and stuff, he's going to be there for a while.
Yeah, but
they want him to grow. And that's the other problem.
They're going to give it back after 3. They're not going to, unless they get a contract extended.
Again, we don't know that. If this does well, let me tell you something. If this does well, and 2 does well, and 3 does well, like they're probably going to, Sony's going to be like, hey. You want more? Let's do Miles Morales. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Or they may not, and they may put him in their own movie.
But what are you basing that off of, though?
I mean, I'm saying Sony doesn't have to, extend the deal.
No, they don't have to. But if they're making boatloads of money for this, we're doing the least amount of work, do you think they're going to want to take it back?
I don't know.
Not to mention they're doing these spinoffs. These spinoffs do well. They're not touching Spider-Man at all.
I got to tell you right now, we have limited time left, but the lowest Spider-Man movie made was Amazing Spider-Man 2. And it made $708,982,323. Okay? I don't think it's going to make more than $708 million. And if it does, I don't think it's going to make more than $757 million, which is amazing.
What cut their throat on that one is they had too many villains, and they should have saved the death.
No, but I don't want to get into the other Spider-Man.
I know, but I'm just saying they should have waited until.
We don't have that much time, but we only have 3 minutes left. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to do that because, again, like we've seen with Batman vs Superman, it had a great opening, and then it dropped percentage points. The biggest in history, right?
Yeah, but the thing there is though that Batman vs Superman was just a bad movie all around.
Yeah, but
this was not a bad movie all around. This was a bad Spider-Man movie in our opinion. But you got to remember, a lot of people love this movie. They love this version of Spider-Man.
But here's the thing about that, and I was telling you this before. I went on something other than Google. Okay, which, if you know the track record, and again, don't get pissed about my YouTube channel because Google owns YouTube, and I don't want to hear no crap, and you're going to demonetize my videos because of it. But you couldn't say nothing about Hillary Clinton on Google. You couldn't find anything about Hillary Clinton bad on Google because they wanted Hillary Clinton as a candidate. Wait a second, Scott, I only have 2 minutes. I want to get this out.
Okay.
All right? So, when Trump won, everybody's like, oh, fake news, whatever, right? They put stuff on Google, and if they favor something, and if they don't want negative stuff, they'll make it where you don't see that. But you have to go to other search engines or different things to find those things. And I found a whole bunch of videos on YouTube today of people who didn't like Homecoming that I couldn't find on a search engine. So I'm just going to tell you right now, it's out there. You want to see real bad reviews? Like people that didn't like the movie, you will find it if you search for it properly. Because sometimes they smear the whole thing, you can't find it.
I agree with that, but here's the thing. We and those reviews are in the minority. All of the big channels and all people love this movie. It's certified fresh. It's got whether I'm not saying you, but I'm saying in general, whether someone agrees with reviews online or not, this movie is doing spectacular in that department.
Well, come to me again at the end of next week.
92 on Rotten Tomatoes. I just want to say that.
We know that, though. I know that already. But the thing is,
it's already at 117 million. I mean,
but that's opening weekend. But the main thing you look at is the second week rather than the first week.
It's gonna drop off because there's stuff coming out. But
War of the Planet of the Apes is coming out.
I do not believe that it's gonna tank. It's not gonna tank.
I didn't say it was gonna tank. But I said it was going to drop. Now,
it's going to drop,
but definitely not good. It's definitely not going to be number one this week.
No, it's
War of the Planet of the Apes.
We don't know that.
It's a 1 week shot.
You think that War of the Planet of the Apes is going to be number 2?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't know how that movie's going to do because right now they're saying it's good, but what happens if it comes out and it sucks?
Well, was there reviews of that already or no? War of the Planet of the Apes?
I have no idea, honestly.
There's no advanced screenings or nothing?
Well, let's talk about that on the next.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
We have less than a minute.
All right, thank you guys. Take care. Bye for now.